Good morning, YouTube. How are you this morning? I am pretty good. It is about 7:30 Central Time, and I am at Burkert Steel, and I'm empty. Woke up at 6:30 after staying up way too late last night. Instead of going to bed around 10 like I wanted to, I got wrapped up playing my game, didn't go to bed till midnight. It's always just one more thing. I'm just going to do one more thing. Just one more thing. And this game, No Man's Sky, is definitely that. Just one more thing. As I was saying, I got up at 6:30. Went out, took all the butterfly straps off, got them all put away. It took about 15 minutes. And then I went ahead and pulled around to the front gate because I'm on the gravel lot in the back. And sat there and waited till 2 minutes to 7. And then at 2 minutes to 7, I pulled in the gate and drove around to the back where the cold rod deliveries are at. I pulled the brake right at 7 o'clock. Sat there for a minute, got out, and then put my PPE on and kind of hung out and waited for a second. About 5 minutes after that, a guy came out and said, you can take those last 2 straps off. I'll get it off of there in just a minute. Sure enough. Took the 2 straps off, and just as I was putting those away, he came around with the big forklifty thing. And it's almost too big to be called a forklift, and started taking them off. And as he pulled them off, I took the cardboard that was between the coils off and threw them in the dumpster. And while he was goofing around trying to get them off, I went ahead and, as he was clearing them, I pulled the cradles off, put them away. And by the time he pulled the last 2 off, he stuck his hand out the window with the bills. I grabbed them, climbed in the truck, drove around the back of the property, and now I'm back on that gravel lot. And it took 20-25 minutes altogether. More of him fiddle farting around than anything else. Sent him an empty call, and I just got a message, we're looking. It didn't have enemy trucks or anything. That's because the load planners aren't even in yet. They don't come in till 8. But I can imagine I'm probably going to head down to Fort Smith. There's another Maverick here who loaded Slinkies in Vidor, Texas when I did, but he had a later appointment than I did, and he was here this morning. And his name is Marcel. He was one of my students in when I was teaching at the securement school. It was good to see him. He seems he's doing well. If I remember right, I think he was an experienced driver that was coming to flatbed. If I remember right, I think that's correct. I think he was experienced. I may be wrong. I was looking back over my notes. About 300 people came through securement training when I was there over the course of 12 weeks. May have been more than that. It was at least 250, if not 300. So I'm not sure what's going to happen yet. I'm going to sit here and eat some breakfast and hang out and wait. I will let you know. Good morning, YouTube. How are you this morning? I'm wet as usual. It is about 9:45 Central Time, and I am at the Maverick Terminal across the street from Gerdau in Fort Smith, Arkansas. About not even 10 minutes after we talked last, I got a slew of messages, and of course the most important one was the load plan to come down here, which I'd already said a couple times I was probably going to come down here, pick up a preloaded trailer and take that to Georgetown, Kentucky. Pretty standard run, actually, from what I understand. It's about 700 miles altogether, empty and loaded. So I did my paperwork and load plan and everything, and then headed down here and Marcel was right behind me. He was coming down here to do something else, but not a load. I got down here about an hour and 20 minutes ago, and it took me about 10 minutes to get situated, get checked in, and sure enough, it was preloaded. I got my bills, went and found it, and then moved my truck over, parked next to it, and unloaded all the stuff from my trailer into the new trailer. That took about 45 minutes, and while that was happening, it started to rain. Whoa, boy. And then after I left the equipment that I needed to leave behind, some chains, binders, and some other stuff, and hooked from mine, hooked into the new one. Checked the securements, made sure everything was the way it's supposed to be, make sure the chains were tight, belly wraps were tight, and then pulled over here in front of the building. I like to be there till 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and it is roughly a 13-hour drive. So I'm going to pop inside and take a quick shower and then make a sandwich and leave. And by that time, it'll probably be about 11. And then I have almost the entire day to drive. So that part of Kentucky, I should be able to find a parking space, no problem. I can't park at the receiver, so I'm not sure how far I'm going to get. We'll just have to see. That's where we stand. We'll talk later. Bye. Good evening, YouTube. How are you this evening? I am pretty good. It is about 9 p.m. Central Time, and I am in Franklin, Kentucky at the Flying J in a preferred parking spot. I had to buy one at the last minute. There were some spots open on the lot when I got here, maybe half a dozen or so, but I just couldn't get into any of them. I'm not sure what the problem was. My backing skills are lacking today, but then again, I have a hard time doing 90s, even modified 90s we do with these split axle flatbeds. I prefer straight backs or gradual 45s. The drive today was actually not too bad. It rained on and off till I got into closer to Nashville, and the rain just stopped altogether. The drive today seemed to take longer than it has in the past for me. I don't know what the deal was. I mean, I know how far it was. I know how far I drove. It just seemed like it was a long drive today as compared to other days. Maybe I just got too many things in my mind. I don't know. I'm going to be here a while. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi doesn't seem to be working. I don't know. I can't connect to it. Every time I try to connect, it fails. So I kind of screwed on that. So I'm going to be here a while. My appointment is a just-in-time appointment tomorrow, and that's at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I am still about 200 miles away, and it'll take me about 3.5 hours. So in reality, it would not do me any good to leave here till probably 2 in the afternoon. So that means I'm going to be here about 15 or 16 hours. And I don't like that. I don't mean, well, actually 17 hours, I think about it. I don't like sitting that long unless I'm on a reset or whatever. I mean, I already did it once this week. When I got down to Houston, sat from 5 in the afternoon till 6 in the morning, and I mean that was 13 hours. This is gonna be even longer. I mean, the upshot is there's a Denny's here. That's why I chose this one instead of going to the Pilot, which is up at exit 6. This one's at exit 2 on I-65. So I go in and have a sit-down breakfast in the morning and relax and take a shower and piddle fart around. I can even stay up a little late tonight if I want to and play No Man's Sky. I don't have to have internet to connect to it. It helps, but I don't have to. But I've stayed at this Flying J before, and it's always busy, but it's a madhouse today. I'm not sure what the deal is. And I hadn't parked, I don't know, 3 minutes before one of the employees came out here and accosted me looking for a receipt for the parking spot, which I had to show him my online receipt because I ordered it as I was driving around the parking lot. I parked over on the side over there and then paid for it, and then pulled up and pulled into the spot. Just kind of crazy. So gonna be here a little bit, and tomorrow's video will probably be pretty short because I don't really think I'm going to get anything after I deliver. We're probably going to end up having to find a truck stop near there and be done with it. Unless I go to Gent, which a lot of people tell me I probably will. I've never been there, so we'll have to see what happens. I'm not even sure where it is. Got me. Truck is confirmed for maintenance on Saturday when I get in. I will spend Saturday night in a hotel because it'll work on the truck overnight, and then I can move back in my truck after class on Sunday. They said it's about a 3 or 4 hour fix to replace that sensor, and we're gonna go ahead and replace the DPF filter while they're at it. At least that was my understanding. They could always change whatever they want. I also want them to take a look at the on guard and check the alignment because it's a little wonky, I think. Either that or just pick it up and stray stuff. Some of them do, some of them don't. So that's pretty much it. Not much else to say for the day. So until we speak tomorrow, keep the shiny side up. 73s. Good night.